Right. Good morning, class. Okay, we will minimize this one. Wait. This is the first day of our face-to-face with discussion. The previous one, we have actually introduction. Those are introductory. I'll just remove my mask. Those are introductory. So now this is the first day of your face-to-face, which we have the actual class. Okay. And later on also, Nicole, I will just get later my attendance sheet. You need to record attendance of your classmates. Okay. So our topic for today is the circulatory system. This is really an important topic. Why? Because this is the reason why we are actually the nutrients that we eat will be distributed. This is the only way that the nutrients that we already eat will be distributed also to our body with the help of the blood. Now let's take a look at what are the major processes involved in the circulatory system. There are major processes there. Later on also, after this theoretical, this is actually theory. After theory, we will apply it, okay, with dissection. Right? So again, I already sent a message in your GC and I already informed some of your parents that we will have dissection, so you need to prepare again the lab gown, the surgical masks, and of course the surgical gloves, which is not there. Let's move forward. Okay, circulatory system designed to perform function or its function. The cells of an organism need food, oxygen, and some other substances to carry on life processes. This is only the means that we distributed oxygen all throughout our body. We are aerobic. We are not anaerobic. We are not anaerobic. We are aerobic. When you say aerobic, these are organisms that consume or that needs or need oxygen in order to survive. Without oxygen, even a single minute, we will actually die. It will start in the brain. Okay? The sum of total chemical changes go on in the cells. One organism is known as metabolism. Okay? Metabolism. So this is the main reason also why we Filipinos has different body sizes. Why? Some of you has low metabolism, some of you has a fast metabolism. Okay, when you say fast metabolism, your body consumes a lot of energy. Your body has a rapid need of food, rapid need of energy in the form of ATP or adenosine triphosphate. We will not discuss ATP with this topic simply because that is under cells. Okay. In performing the processes, the cells produce waste materials. This is also the means on how to one way of eliminating these waste materials. Okay. These materials are known as metabolic wastes or waste products of the cells. Transfer needed materials to the cells and waste materials from the cells is the main function of the circulatory system. Okay, what are these wastes? Talking about waste with the cells, okay, our main wastes with circulatory system is carbon dioxide, okay, and other toxins. But carbon dioxide is carried throughout by your blood going to your lungs for exchange of gases. That's the main reason. Vascular system. When we say vascular, these are tubes. Okay? Because we are actually we have blood, there should be a blood vessels. When we say blood vessels, these are tubes that that enables the blood to flow. Okay. System of tubes or vascular system to the blood flows consists of three types of blood vessels. Okay. Those that bring blood from the heart, okay. These are arteries. Those very fine tubes, which artery branches, these are the capillaries. Okay. And those that bring blood back to the heart, these are the veins. Back to the heart. When you say back to the heart, if the blood returns to the heart, it means to say that the blood is now carrying carbon dioxide. Later on also, you will realize that there is a particular vein that instead of carrying carbon dioxide back to the heart, it carries oxygenated blood or oxyhemoglobin. Later on, with the blood flow, we will have blood tracing actually. Okay, again, these are the three main blood vessels. We have arteries, which bring the blood from the heart. Okay, it carries oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin meaning it is a blood which carries oxygen on it, ready for distribution into all parts of your body. And capillaries, these are the branches, okay, branches of artery. And of course, the veins, which carries carbaminohemoglobin. Please take note. Do you have your notes with you? Okay. Again, the blood that carries oxygen is called oxyhemoglobin. The blood that carries carbon dioxide, it is actually called as carbaminohemoglobin. I need to incorporate these terminologies simply because this is included in your exam. Okay, again, the blood which carries oxygen is called oxyhemoglobin, and the blood which carries carbon dioxide is called carbaminohemoglobin. Let me write it in the board. Again, the blood that carries oxygen is called oxyhemoglobin, and the blood that carries carbon dioxide or CO2, and this is O2, is called carbaminohemoglobin. Substances dissolved in blood simply diffuse the thin-walled capillaries to the nearby cells. Okay. Similarly, substances such as waste materials from the cells diffuse through capillary walls. So we need to say that it will just diffuse with the capillary walls. I will let you see what is in this wall, why it actually diffuses, why these materials diffuse with these walls, right? From the cells diffuse through the capillary walls and into the bloodstream. This type of circulatory system is described as closed transport system. It is closed transport system. Okay. Open transport system, on the other hand, okay, we have actually closed transport system because, again, the materials will actually diffuse in our capillaries. veins and arteries. Okay. In an open transport system, on the other hand, okay, is found in the grasshopper and anthropods. Okay, it is open simply because again it lacks pulmonary circulation. We have two circulations happening in a closed transport system. Okay, first one is the pulmonary circulation. We'll discuss it later. Don't worry. The second one is the systemic circulation. When we say pulmonary circulation, these are circulation that is happening in our lungs. The actual exchange of gases from carbon dioxide to oxygen happens in the pulmonary circulation. Okay, and the systemic circulation, this happens all throughout our body. This is the actual distribution of oxygenated blood into all parts of our body. Okay, later on, we'll discuss about it. Okay. On the other hand, in this system, blood is pumped by a tubular heart to a blood vessel and then out in the body cavity. So it's a one-way out. Okay. It's open again because it doesn't require pulmonary circulation on it. It is just systemic. Okay. As blood baths the cell, food diffuses into the cells and waste materials diffuse out the cell. From the body spaces, blood enters a collecting vessel near the posterior end of the body and is back or brought back to the heart. The movement of materials in the open transport system is slow. Okay, the closed transport system is more efficient. It distributes blood faster to a greater number of cells. Again, because this is happening simultaneously. That's the reason why we have 4 chambers in our heart. This is the main reason why. Again, because we have 2 circulations happening simultaneously in our body, in the heart. Okay, it pumps again, heart pumps blood going to the pulmonary circulation, which is your lungs, and heart also pumps blood going to the systemic circulation into all parts of your body. Are you still good? Are we all good? Do you have any question? Okay, please ask questions. All right. I really appreciate, diba? When we have the online class before, I let you ask questions, and I really appreciate students asking questions. Okay? So, this is now the comparison. As you can see, this is the closed circulation. So, we have 2 circulations happening simultaneously. Okay? These are the 2 circulations happening simultaneously. The colored blue there is a vessel, a blood vessel that carries carbaminohemoglobin. And the red color there, or colored red, is a blood vessel carrying oxygen blood or oxyhemoglobin. Okay? As you can see, the circulation is happening simultaneously. In an open circulation, okay, you can only say that it's one way. And that's it. This is just systemic circulation. Okay, the blood vessel there collects the waste material and distributes the needed materials for survival. And that's it. Okay, structure of the blood vessel. Let's take a look at the structure of our blood vessel, why we can actually diffuse materials in our blood vessels. Okay, the cross-section of artery and vein show the 3 kinds of tissues. These are, number 1, a single innermost layer of epithelial cells. Epithelial cells, these are the covering. Okay? Careful. Careful. When we say epithelial cells, these are the covering, the inner covering of your blood vessel. Okay? In the middle of that layer, okay, in the middle of the layer is a smooth muscle arranged in circular manner. Why? Because this is a what? A blood vessel. Circular manner. So let's take a look at this later. I have illustrations also to in order for you to visualize. Okay. Back to the bone. Again, in the middle of the layer, smooth muscles. Arranged in circular manner around the vessel. Big arteries also have elastic fibers among smooth muscles. And the third one is an outermost layer is tough connective tissues with some elastic fibers and nerve cells. Because again, it needs to interact also with the other systems of the body. Remember that our body is composed of different systems. Okay? Remember the biological systems. Okay? It started in the cell. Okay? If you group the cell into a single piece, it will actually create a tissue. If you group the tissue, it will form what? An organ. If you group the organ, it will form organ system. And if we group the organ system, we can actually form organism. So this is our composition. Okay? This is one of the organ system, right? But it needs to communicate with the other systems also. Okay? This is the structure of your blood vessel. As you can see, it has epithelial cells, okay, with connective tissues. Those are connective tissues. And a tough covering with nerve cells. Tough, it needs to be tough because, again, it is exposed. Okay? Usually, cholesterol deposits are in the epithelial cells inside here. So, if there are some cholesterol deposits there, it can cause arteriosclerosis. Later on also, we'll be discussing arteriosclerosis. So that is, if you have arteriosclerosis, the passage of blood narrows down. Narrowing it up can cause serious damage in our major organs. Okay, these are the major cause of stroke. Okay, blood clot. These are the major cause because blood there bumps to each other because of the narrow passage. That's the reason behind. Notice the diagram at the middle layer is thicker than the artery in the vein. Consequently, the space inside the vein is wider than that inside an artery of the same diameter. Many veins, especially those near found the surface of the body, have valves that ensure the flow of the blood inside the veins is only towards the heart. We have valves. This is for security. We don't have backflow. That's the reason behind that when the blood goes up to superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, that's part of your heart, there is no backflowing. That is because we have valves involved in the process. These valves, once blood passes through, it will just close. Okay? To ensure the flow of blood inside the veins is only toward the heart. These valves were formed by replication or reduplication of the inner lining of the veins. Okay? Do you have any questions so far? Let's take it slowly, one at a time. The wall of the capillary consists of a single layer of epithelial cells, capillaries. Okay, we're talking about capillaries here. Covered by a thin layer of fibrous material, it is the same inner epithelium in the other two blood vessels. Okay, epithelium, epithelia, and epithelium. Okay, these are the inner part of your blood vessel, your capillary actually, the heart. So let's move now to the heart. Do you have any questions so far? No. Questions? Okay, the heart is your major organ. Okay, the power that propels blood to blood vessel comes from the heart. If you're going to look at your heart, that's why I don't want you to use a human heart. Aside from it's so expensive, human heart is so small. Your heart is the size of your fists. This one. The actual heart is this size. This one. This is the actual size of the heart, just like your fists. Okay? It is actually placed in your left side of the body. Here. Not here. Okay, it's in here. Okay? Covered by your rib cage. Here. That is why if you're going to, if you want to hear your blood, your heart with the lub-dub sound, you need to place the stethoscope on the left side, okay, of your body, left chest, lower cavity, because your blood is placed on the left side of your body. The human heart has 4 chambers, which shows the structure of the human heart. The chambers are labeled RA, okay, RA or right atrium. Okay, please take note. These are the terminologies. We'll have blood tracing later. Okay, RA, right atrium. Left atrium, that's LA. Okay. Right ventricle, that's RV. And left ventricle, that's LV. Okay. The atria and orifices, okay, atrium and ventricle, orifice or auricle are the same with ventricle, receive blood from the various parts of the body. Therefore, they are referred to as receiving chambers of the heart. Okay? Receiving chambers of the heart. It depends upon what blood they actually receive. Is it oxygenated blood or oxygen carrying blood? Or is it blood containing carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide? Okay, please take note. Please also secure your book. This is actually in your book. Do you have your book with you? Check your book. It's in your book. I will teach you how to study your book, highlighting the important details. Open your book. That's the first topic in your book. Okay, check your book. Is it the first topic in your book? Yes. Okay. You highlight the important details. You underline the important details, the terminologies. And that's how we study science. Do not memorize. Again, everybody, listen, do not memorize. You need to familiarize. Familiarization meaning you're using your long-term memory. Do not use your short-term memory. Otherwise, you will forget those. Tell you honestly. So I'm encouraging everybody to familiarize terminologies, not memorize. Okay, let's move forward. The ventricles are called the pumping chambers of the heart because they pump blood to the different parts of the body. The RV, right ventricle, okay, to the lungs, and the LV, left ventricle, to the rest of the body. That's why if you're going to analyze the structure of your heart, it has a thick ventricles because these ventricles pumps blood. Okay, again, RV or right ventricle pumps blood going to the lungs or going to pulmonary circulation, and the LV, which is the left ventricle, pumps blood to all parts of the body or systemic circulation. Okay. Take note that the wall of the ventricles is thicker than that of the atria or atrium. Okay. And that the wall of the left ventricle is thicker than that of the right ventricle. Why? Because again, the left ventricle pumps blood into all parts of your body. Okay. These are the left ventricle is actually checked by the doctor for heart enlargement. Why? If there are some clot there or there is arteriosclerosis, okay, happening in your body, The first chamber that will actually enlarge is the left ventricle because it pumps blood into all parts of your body. Okay, let's continue. Online student, do you have any question?
Okay.
Kisha.
Wait.
Kisha?
Kisha?
Kisha, can you hear me? Kisha?
No questions.
Huh? You can hear me?
No questions, sure. Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. Again, Kisha, we have simultaneous class here. I am with your classmates face to face, and you are with the online class. Okay. Remind also your other classmate, Kisha, those online students to join the meeting. All right. Kisha.
Yeah, I
Kisha.
already sent something on Messenger.
All right, that's great. Okay. The human heart is about the size of a fist. The one that I'm telling you is two. It's so small. Okay. I dissected one. You cannot actually observe anything there if you are not precise with the parts of the heart. That's why I want you, if you have dissection later on, I want you to secure a swine heart, pig's heart, okay, the bigger one. So that when we dissect, you can actually see the chambers of the heart there. You can actually see the different parts of the heart. And that is our target for that laboratory, right? It is located in the center of the chest cavity with the lower tip slightly pointed towards the left. So, here, okay? It is protected by a top sac of connective tissue, the pericardium. The pericardium is the protection of the heart, okay? So, if you're gonna have dissection, you can observe that it is covered with pericardium, okay? It is also protected from external injury by the rib cage and your lungs. Your lungs has a notch, okay? It is called a cardiac notch, okay? Since your lungs, if you're going to observe your lungs, your right lung is bigger than your left lung. That is because, again, your heart is located on the right part of your body and it is still connected. Okay, it is still protected rather by your lungs. Okay, there is a cardiac notch there. This is for this is actually covered with fluid to resist friction. Remember that your heart is moving, correct? It is pumping blood, so there is actually friction happening there. Let's move forward. This is the anatomy of your heart. As you can see, this is superior vena cava. This actually receives blood from the upper part of your body. This is inferior vena cava. This thing here, the inferior vena cava, SVF, superior vena SVC, and this is IVC. SVC or inferior vena cava receives blood from the upper part of your body, from your head going to your extremities. Inferior vena cava, on the other hand, receives blood from the lower part of your body. Okay? And this is the right atrium. Okay? In the middle of the right atrium is the tricuspid valve. We will discuss this later. I'll just introduce the terminologies. This is the right ventricle, responsible for pumping blood going to the lungs. This is, okay, when the blood is pumped to the pulmonary artery, it will actually pass through pulmonary valve, okay, going to the lungs. This is your pulmonary vein. Diba? In the discussion, I am actually telling you that veins supposed to be carries carbon dioxide containing blood or carbaminohemoglobin, correct? But in this case, in heart, instead of carrying carbon dioxide containing blood, in heart, only in the heart, carbon dioxide containing blood, it actually carries oxygenated blood or oxyhemoglobin. Okay, going to the heart in the left atrium. This is your left atrium. From the left atrium, at the center of the left atrium and left ventricle is the tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve or mitral valve here. And this is your left ventricle. As you can see, the walls or the muscle or cardiac muscles in your left ventricle is thicker than of the right ventricle. Because again, your left ventricle pumps blood into all parts of your body. Let's continue. Do you have any question? Question? We're running out of time. Heartbeat. Your heartbeat refers to the rhythmic contraction of the heart muscles or cardiac muscles. Okay, let me check this for a while. Rhythmic contraction of heart muscles. A heartbeat consists of the following sequence of events. We have right atrium contracts followed by closely by the left atrium. Blood passes on the ventricles. This is followed by relaxation of the atrium or atria. Again, the right atrium contracts because it pumps blood going to the pulmonary circulation. This is right atrium. Okay, right atrium contracts because it allows blood to flow in the tricuspid valve going to the right ventricle, followed by closely, okay, by the left atrium. Okay, because again, the pumping of the blood is simultaneous. Okay, blood passes through ventricles. This followed by the relaxation of the atria, allowing blood to enter the heart and closing the valves between each atrium and its ventricle. Next, both right and left ventricle contract. Blood passes on the arteries. This is followed by relaxation of the ventricles. A short pause, a period of activity follows, and the cycle is repeated. So this is the lub-dub sound. Okay? If you're going to observe the heart, this is the actual pumping of the blood. Okay? The average rate of heartbeat is about 70 times per minute. It is slightly faster in children because, again, children needs the children has a lot of activities. At the same time, their heart is still new to them. Okay, it needs to pump faster. Okay, it is raised very much by exercise or strenuous activity. Okay, so if you're going to look at it, this is your right atrium and this is your right ventricle. Okay, as you can see, it has valves. These valves are actually tricuspid valve. Okay, on the left side is the bicuspid valve. Okay, or mitral valve. Okay, so sure, how can you memorize all of those? Or how can you familiarize all of those? On the right side, it should always be tricuspid or tricuspid valve. On the left side, with oxygen carrying blood, okay, is bicuspid valve or mitral valve. So if you're going to analyze on your heart, okay, this area here, the right side of your heart is actually carrying carbaminohemoglobin. Remember that it receives blood to superior and inferior vena cava going to the right atrium, correct? So this side here, the right side of your heart, is carrying carbaminohemoglobin. And the left side of your heart is carrying oxyhemoglobin. This is the area of the heart wherein it pumps blood, oxygenated blood, or oxyhemoglobin going to all parts of your body. Blood pressure. What is the relationship or relation between heartbeat and pulse? Okay. There is a big relationship. Okay. Contraction of the left ventricle imparts pressure of the blood flow. This pressure drives blood to blood vessels. In turn, the blood rushing out of the ventricles impart pressure on the walls of the artery. The impact causes wall of the artery to expand. So, again, I have actually experienced this. Okay, this is my experience before. Those are sinulog time. Okay, I was with the sinulog way back many years. I think 5 years ago. Okay, I was in the stampede. Uh, have you heard about the stampede before? I was there. Okay, and I actually received a patient. Okay, um I am trained for life support or resuscitative trainings. Okay, reviving patient with no pulse. Okay, I received a patient. Okay, she was with her Pericardium. Her Pericardium is actually carrying her with this position. So meaning the chest is being compromised. Correct? So I received the patient and upon checking there's no pulse. Okay? I checked the pulse, there is no pulse. So I immediately perform CPR. So the pulse is really important simply because the rushing of blood is in there. Without pulse, meaning to say that the patient or the person don't have the flow of blood, and take note, in less than 1 minute, that person might die. Or in less than 1 minute, that person might be paralyzed. This is true. That's why I want you also to know how to perform CPR. It's important. It's a life skill. Okay, 30 is to 2 and so on. So you pump 30 times and you blow 2 times. That's 30 is to 2 and so on. Checking on the pulse. Okay. At home also, you might be needing that one if in case. Your family member might be in need also with CPR. That's why it is really important. It's a life skill actually. And fortunately, my patient awakened without any disabilities. And until now, she is still alive. And she communicates to me. If I didn't perform CPR then, she will be die. Yeah, she will die, of course, because of the lack of oxygen going to the brain. Paralysis happens when there is shortage of oxygen in the body. Remember that we are aerobic organism. We need oxygen. Without oxygen, again, the major organs of your body will fail. What are the major organs of your body? Your brain, your heart, your lungs, okay, your liver. They will actually fail. Organ failure would mean death. Okay, let's continue. Since the wall of the artery is elastic, okay, it recoils. Okay, this is the reason also when you do CPR, okay, when you push on the rib, okay, when you push on the rib, you need to allow chest to recoil because heart can actually recoil because it is elastic. Right? It recoils, causing weight extension to pass along the length of artery. This is the origin of pulse, which you feel the arteries at the neck here. Okay? I usually check pulse here because this is near the heart. You can observe, if you can actually observe that there is no pulse here, you need to say that there is no blood flow then, and you need to immediately perform CPR. Okay? It also causes blood to flow to the artery in spurts. The wave of recoil along wall of an artery helps push blood further on the capillaries. So that's how important our heart is. Okay? How about the flow of blood to the veins? After traveling to arteries and capillaries, the pressure of the blood flow is reduced considerably by the time the blood reaches the veins as a result of rubbing against walls of the vessels. Okay? Since the pressure is weak, okay, it is possible that the blood in a large vein will flow backward because the pressure is weak. It can actually have backflow. The answer is no. There is no backflow. It will never happen unless you have a problem with your valves. Okay, there are some cases that there are heart which has a leak in the bone, which needs a major operation, open heart surgery. Okay, backward flow of the blood is prevented by the presence of valves along the veins. There is a valve, but again, of course, if you have defective valves, then it needs a major surgery. The blood. Okay.